developing a reservoir of goodwill. Ooh, go team. Sort of self-explanatory and stuff that's tied to all the things that we've talked about, particularly in the ethics chapter and then the previous stuff in this particular chapter. Predictors of ineffective pre-crisis calm. Poor communication relationships with stakeholders. That's bad. Distance from aggravated stakeholders. Bad. Keep enemies close. Have some sort of relationship. Failure to listen to stakeholders' needs. Bad. Have those forums. Public information sessions. Before crisis. Something. Get to know folks. Failure to plan for crisis. Again, goes back to, well, definition of crisis is that you cannot plan for it, but you got to plan for it even though you can't plan for it. That's a plan. More cool research. During a crisis, you should use core values and crisis calm goals. Develop pre-crisis to guide your response. The credo, your mission. Provide constant updates on the recovery process. Let people know what's going on. Communicate open and honestly. Don't spin, don't deceive, don't stonewall. Crisis calm strategies during crisis that are bad. Saying no comment. Is the water bad? No comment. Is there cyanide in the Tylenol bottles? No comment. Can't do that. Not knowing whom to call or having established values to base your response on. You got to know who to call. Who are you going to call? The Ghostbusters. But no, got to plan here and have established values. You can't reassure folks about the impact of the crisis and communicating with certainty about the crisis. Again, no. Particularly in moments of uncertainty. You can't say, we know this exactly, particularly if you don't know. That's important. If you don't know, just say, I do not know. And now for the research on post-crisis stuff. Not to do. Don't spin responsibility for the crisis. Ain't my fault, but it's my fault. But it ain't my fault. Obscuring blame. Yeah. Learn stuff to do. Learn from the crisis. Set up discourse of renewal, a rebirth of your organization or community. Communicate ethically and openly about your responsibility. Provide perspective, vision for recovery. So that's the future positive orientation looking. The future is bright. Social media stuff. And notice they have all this stuff in here, but they're not really getting to a lesson. We haven't gotten to lesson 10 yet. Tons of stuff on social media. I put an extra video from YouTube from Timothy Coombs about social media. I think is really, really cool. But basically, you all know what social media is. They talk about Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, instant messaging, blogging, everything that's computer mediated communication, texting, all that type of stuff. Dude, this is awesome. I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to take a selfie of myself, which is the definition of selfie, while I'm doing an online lecture. Awesome. That's cool. Okay, so things you should do. Monitor what's being said about your organization. You need to have people in your organization monitoring what's going on to see if people are talking about your organization, because maybe that way you could, fix rumors or maybe there is a crisis you don't know about. I don't know. Anticipate potential crises. Communicate to stakeholders during a crisis using social media and all this type of stuff. So those are sort of, this is from blah, 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 Sherman. This is how social media can be used. Monitor, anticipate potential crises, and then communicate to your stakeholders through Twitter or whatever, all these different types of things that you can do. More on social media, other stuff from Sherman that are good things. Suggest following advice from preventing small issues from becoming crisis. If they are small issues, you don't want them to become a crisis. Acknowledge the issues and apologize for the mistake. If you made a mistake, oops, Did it again. Something we have the airbags don't work. Our child chair thing, our booster chair is not boosting enough. Something. We're sorry. We're fixing it. Publicly explain that the issue will be fixed immediately and that everyone will be notified when the issue is fixed. Privately message people who had tweeted or anything. It just talks about tweets, but I would say if somebody Facebooks something, I hate Walmart because blah 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 blah. Private message that person. This is Walmart. We value your patronage. Walmart, fall apart. Assure them that the problem is being resolved. Publicly address those who cannot be reached privately by referencing them with the @ sign and their Twitter name or whatever with a personal explanation. That's pretty cool. That's good information. Other good stuff. Go watch. I already said that. Don't admit fault when you haven't done anything wrong. If there's a rumor, blah, 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 quickly do some research, but you don't want to ever apologize for a mistake that you did not make just to assuage said random Twitter person tweeting bad things about you. I went to Taco Bell. I ate their Nacho Bells Grande, and I got sick. Hashtag Taco Bell sucks. Hashtag Taco Hell. Find out what happened, but maybe the dude was just sick. If you have screwed something up, try to fix it as fast as possible and monitor the folks what they're saying closely. And use social media to provide constant updates to stakeholders. Use established ideas and apply to social media. I know you can sign up for established ideas. That is all the stuff. This is basically what they're saying. Sometimes social media is just another tool, right? They're another platforms of communication. So all the things that they have said, all the lessons 1 through 9, you can also apply to social media. That's pretty much what they're saying. But a lot of people can sign up for emergency various things like that. But it's smart to tweet out, like if you're an organization, constant updates about things that are going on. Put stuff on Facebook. That's why every organization has to have social media presence everywhere. Positive thinking is positive. So again, we're still not to lesson 10, but basically it goes back to framing, news framing theory. This is framing generally. Bottom of page 56. Knowing how to frame events is one of the most important strategies an organization can employ to move beyond a crisis. We have found that when an organization is able to think about the positive potential rather than the negative aspect of the crisis, it's better able to move beyond the event. Got to deal with it, but look ahead. Renew yourself. Myers and Halusha discuss 7 potential positive results that can come from a crisis. Heroes are born. Really? Like heroes were made. Suggests that leaders who manage crisis effectively can be viewed as heroes. So they're not born. They're made. That's stupid. 2, change is accelerated. Or change can accelerate if something needs to change your organization. A crisis can sure as hell accelerate things. Latent problems are faced. You know what latent is? People, you don't know the problem is there. But now you can face it because it's no longer latent. It is manifest, if you know the Freudian language. People are changed, hopefully for the good. I am changed. Now I have lead poisoning. Ooh, yay. Now I have Zuka, Danny Zuko. He's got chills. They're multiplying, and he's losing control. That's what the new Zika virus does to you. Zuko. So, you better shape up. Okay. New strategies can evolve from a crisis. New early warning systems can develop. New competitive advantages, blah, blah, blah. And so lesson 10, effective crisis communicators acknowledge the positive factors can arise from the organizational crisis. So we have the summary. Last summary. My president is Charlton Heston. though I don't own a gun. I've never owned a gun. I've shot a gun once, I think. I didn't grow up in an academic family. We got books, not guns. So I like toy guns. So, summary. 10 lessons. The 10 commandments. Holy Moses. Determine your goals for crisis communication. 2. Before crisis, develop true equal partnerships with organizations, groups that report to the organization. 3. Acknowledge your stakeholders, including the media, as partners when managing a crisis. 4. Organizations need to develop strong, positive primary and secondary stakeholder relationships. 5. Effective crisis communication involves listening to your stakeholders. Listen. 6. Communicate early about the crisis, acknowledging uncertainty, and assure the public that you will maintain contact with them about current and future risk. 7. Avoid certain or absolute answers to the public and media until sufficient information is available. 8. Do not over-reassure stockholders about the impact the crisis will have on them. 9. The public needs useful and practical statements of self-efficacy during a crisis. And then 10. Effective crisis communicators acknowledge that positive factors can arise from organizational crisis. So now you have 10 lessons on effective crisis communication. So stick that in your pipe, smoke it. Take care.